We will continue with tribal in this video, and we will select this part. We're going to move it to this side of this part to center it here. So we select it and we turn on the tribal. And first of all, we have to align this part perpendicular to this side. And I will show you two ways to do it. First, I will right click on this handle, and from the menu I will choose perpendicular to face. I click on this one, and then I click on this side, and it is aligned perpendicular. I will undo this. Another way to do it is to grab this handle, press and hold the left mouse button. I will move the cursor to this side, and you see in the preview here that now it is aligned perpendicular. So when I release the left mouse button, it is aligned perpendicular. The next step is to move this part to the center of this side. And first of all, before I will move it, I will deselect all axes so that I will move it in the right direction. So I click in the background to deselect, and I will show you two ways to do it. I will right click on the center handle, and from the menu I will choose to center point, and then I click on this edge and it is in place. I will undo that. Another way to do it is to grab this center handle, press and hold the left mouse button, move the cursor, and in the same time I press and hold the shift key to snap to this edge, to use the smart snap function. Not the snap point, but the edge. You will see that in the preview that now it is centered. So when I release the left mouse button, it is in place. Then we turn off the tribal. And next step, we will add some holes in this part. And this file is saved as with the unit inch. So I will change the units before I continue because I will use millimeters. So I come up here to Common, click on this button, Units, and I will change from inches to millimeters. And if you want to use inches, it's up to you. But I will use millimeters. So I click OK. Then I continue. I will use H cylinder. I left drag an H cylinder and drop it in the center. Then I will zoom in a bit so I can see it better. Click on this handle, and I will change the diameter to 15 and hit enter. Then I use the tribal because I will move it a bit upward. So I click to turn on the tribal, grab this handle, drag it upward in this direction. Then I release the left mouse button and I type in 20 and hit enter. And I deselect the axis by clicking in the background. Then we will do a circular pattern by using the tribal. But first of all, I have to move the tribal to the center of this part. And how do I do that without moving the hole? Well, I have to unlock the tribal. And I do that by pressing the space bar. And when I do that, you will see that the tribal turns white. When it's white, we know that it is unlocked, and I can move the tribal without moving the selected part. So I right click on the center handle, and I click on to the center point of this circle. And when the tribal is in place, I press the space bar again to lock the tribal to the selected hole. Then I select this axis because I will use that axis to rotate the tribal and the hole. When we have the cursor inside the tribal and we see the hand that tells us that it is possible to rotate the tribal, I right click and hold the right mouse button and I drag a bit, drag the mouse, move the mouse a bit, then I release the right mouse button, and from the menu I will choose link. I click link here, and I will have 5 more holes. I type 5, and the angle, well, I will let IronCAD to calculate for me, so I type 360 divided by 6 because it will be 6 holes, and click OK, and we have 6 holes made in the part. Then I turn off the tribal. And why did I use link instead of copy? Well, I will zoom in a bit. I will show you. If I change the diameter of this hole, I will change all the others too when it is linked. So that's why I use link to show you that linked parts are linked together, and if you change one, you will change all of them. So I will type in 15 again and hit enter, and I will change every hole to 15 millimeters. Then I click in the background to deselect. Next step will be we will add some holes on this bracket. We have one hole, and I will click on this hole until we come to the IntelliShape level, like so. And we see that the hole is very deep, but we will change that as a final adjustment of the holes. But when the hole is selected, we turn on the tribal, and we will make a copy of this hole to place it on this side. But to do that, we have to move the tribal, so we unlock the tribal by pressing the space bar. It turns white. Then we right click on the center handle to center point of this bracket, this edge or this circle. We lock this tribal by pressing the space bar, and then we right click on this handle and we click mirror and link. And then we got a hole on this side. We turn off the tribal, and when this hole is selected, we shift select this hole, press the shift key and click on this hole, then it is selected. Because we want 2 more holes on this side. So when these holes are selected, we turn on the tribal, and we see that the tribal is still in place here in the center. So we right click on this orientation handle, mirror and link, and we got the 2 other holes on this side. Then I turn off the tribal, and as a final adjustments of these holes, I will grab this handle and I will change the depth of it, and you see the other hole is also changing. So I press and hold the shift key to use the smart snap function and to snap to this edge, and release the left mouse button, and the hole is in place, and we have the right depth of the holes, like so. Well, as you see, it is easy to use the tribal to move, copy, rotate and align parts in the 3D scene. But of course, to use the tribal well, you have to practice. So I will end this tutorial by closing this file. I click on close, and I will not save.